Yo, what is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another CW rant that I'm going to be on. And obviously, as y'all can see, today we're going to be diving headfirst into one of the most debated topics in the entirety of the Arrowverse fandom, and that is why Barry Allen, aka The Flash, and Caitlin Snow, aka Killer Frost, should have ended up together. This pairing has been the subject of fan theories, fan fiction, and countless Reddit threads since the show's early seasons. So honestly, let's just break this all down and explore why this relationship not only made sense, but could have added layers upon layers of depth into both of these characters and to the show itself. But with all that said, let's get into it. Obviously, if we're just going to talk about this specific kind of pairing, we have to talk about the chemistry between these two. And from the very first season of The Flash, Barry and Caitlin's on screen chemistry has been absolutely undeniable. Their friendship was automatically built off the mutual respect, the shared losses, and the level of emotional vulnerability that was really so rare to find between these two characters. Caitlin often serves as Barry's, confidant, offering him support without judgment. Unlike Iris, honestly, Caitlin shares, Barry's scientific mindset, which really creates a very organic connection that really makes this relationship feel a lot more deeper than just friendship. Like these two characters from the get-go, the first time Barry opened his eyes in Star Labs, had already like this kind of very nice relationship that we really just kind of really wanted to see Barry grow over and really see just skyrocket in so many ways if Barry and the entirety of the CW show wasn't just so caught up on the Iris is Barry's true love interest. And even when I've made a couple other videos just talking about, oh yeah, why Barry and Iris didn't work, there's just a lot of people going in the comments going like, oh yeah, but it's like for comic book accuracy's sake, and even if it didn't work out well, like they're meant to be together in the comics. And I'm like, yeah, but sometimes we also have to do what's best for this show. So take creative liberties to make the show better, even if you have to vary off from the source material. That's a kind of basis of any specific media to like book to media or any kind of one media to the other kind of representation, like a representation. You kind of have to take creative liberties to make the best product that you possibly can. And not everyone's going to be obviously okay with that. But in this kind of situation, it's really more of a thing where 99% of the people did not like Barry and Iris's relationship, and only like the rare 1% really actively enjoyed it. Because with Barry and Caitlin, there are moments that really just bond them together, really in like one of the like crazy for you when Barry helps Kaylin go back into the dating world or whatever, or on their like countless late night lab sessions where with working with the speedster science. And these moments really just showed a natural, effortless compatibility that was really never fully explored romantically, but always felt like it was right under the surface in so many specific ways. And if we're really just talking about one of the specific things that really just shows the chemistry, I think it's an episode in season one alone where there's this kind of villain of the week who has the ability to basically just shapeshift into different people. He shapeshifts into Barry, is all the way in Star Labs, and kisses Kaylin, and she does not actively like back away, bat an eye or whatever. And when she figures out that it wasn't Barry that did it, she actually, you can see the expression on her face grow a little sad, being like, oh, it actually wasn't Barry. She literally looks like she actually enjoyed the kiss, and she's more so disappointed that the kiss wasn't from the person that she actively wanted it to be from. So that just shows the chemistry already right there. And specifically like with these like two actively being together in like just the normal show, this relationship was built so perfectly comparatively to the way that Barry and Iris's relationship was, because of the fact that it's not, oh, we're raised together in the same house, but more in a relationship built off of something that they both understand, a relationship built off the mutual loss. like one of the strongest aspects of their relationship is the dynamic between how they both understand the pain of loss. Barry obviously lost his mother at a young age, grew up with his father wrongfully in prison, and Caitlin, on the other hand, had literally just endured the loss of her fiance Ronnie, and later had to grapple with her dual identity as Killer Frost. And even if we're just talking about Ronnie specifically, she lost him twice, literally very, very fast between the time of her getting him back and everything else. And that is honestly one of the main pivotal downfalls about her character, is because they, like, obviously, like, yes, I love Ronnie and I love their relationship together between Caitlyn and him, but they shared, like, they spent so much time focusing on like Caitlyn's character as just being like, oh yeah, she lost Ronnie, so she can't really go out into the dating world. They spent so much time just literally focusing on that one specific grief that she had, and not like letting her go out and like explore other love interest or do other things. They just basically like kind of literally left her like the solo person in the group, which really never made any sense due to the fact that obviously she is extremely attractive. Like, it's Danielle Panabaker. Like, we obviously know that she is extremely attractive, but they really just made a big situation of, oh yeah, she lost the love of her life, or she lost her fiance, so she's never going to be able to find love again, even though her and Barry had such almost immediate chemistry throughout the entire show. And there were so many scenes that you could literally just look at randomly between these two being together that just show it automatically. Like, the shared experiences of grief between these two characters really just created a bond that goes beyond the surface of these characters, and it would have been very cool to see it explored between them in a way different from the way that we actually got to see it, and just really explore it in the best way possible, because of the fact of, we understand that Barry literally had to go through a lot of different grief in a lot of different people, obviously, until he ended on Iris, which no one agrees was the correct choice. But we understand that, yeah, Barry had to deal with some tragedies, but not on the like extreme relationship side. But they really could have gotten at least one season or a small time of them being together, and then hopefully like see whatever goes on, because their chemistry, obviously, as I'm gonna keep saying, was just absolutely undeniable. Like, Barry and Caitlyn in the show just have consistently been there for each other in the lowest moments, offering a level of emotional intimacy that really feels like the perfect foundation for a romantic relationship. And it was just never explored to the real finest qualities that it should have been. Like, Caitlyn's role in Team Flash really just started feeling a little more like weird, like as later seasons grew along, because obviously with people coming in and leaving, Caitlyn just being there always was obviously like a nice touch, because we all love Caitlyn. She's probably my favorite character throughout the entirety of the Flash specific show. Obviously Cisco right there, but she was like the one consistent throughout the entire show, and she is honestly just more than the team's resident biochemist. She is often the emotional glue that holds the entirety of Team Flash together. Her presence brings that sense of stability and empathy and the qualities that really very perfectly complement Barry's somewhat impulsive and sometimes very optimistic nature. And as a partner, Caitlyn could have very much grounded Barry in ways that often, like, Iris struggled to do, providing a balance to what would have made the relationship both dynamic and fundamental. And really just speaking about her role in Team Flash, one of the other big things that we really didn't like about Iris was just her like constant just growing in like very big like main stake in the story, like her character just growing more in like her role, when obviously a character like Caitlyn right there, like, we never understood why they started making Iris more along the lines of, oh, I'm the leader of Team Flash, Barry, we are the Flash, or whatever, when she should, and it would have been better for Iris to have her own specific story-wise, like her own specific kind of character journey, instead of just putting her and trying to smush her into the story as much as possible, when maybe making someone like Caitlyn like a pseudo-leader of Team Flash would have made more sense. Or would have made made a lot more sense than Iris, but it would have made a lot more sense in like a little more sense in just terms of, oh, someone that's already in Team Flash since the beginning, who's going to be there the entire way through the show, being like upgraded from just like the scientist to one of the more leaders that actually has something good to go and bring along would have just been absolutely phenomenal in terms of storytelling and just terms of like the way that the story could have progressed, because there was just so much potential for her character besides the way that they used her. And don't get me wrong, I love the way that they used her. Mine is like last season, like with Keon and a lot of those other things, which didn't really like make a lot of sense because but that's just really the last season, to be fair with you. But the potential for her character, absolutely phenomenal. And the potential for a Killer Frost and the Flash kind of relationship would have been interesting to see play out, to say the least. Like, because this would really have just added another dynamic as Caitlyn's alter ego, Killer Frost, kind of getting a romantic relationship between Barry like that. Because obviously, a romantic relationship between Barry and Caitlyn could have opened up a very fascinating storyline, explaining and like exploring how Barry's optimism and heroism could have influenced Killer Frost's morality a lot earlier, because the tension and the growth that could have come from Barry helping Caitlyn fully reconcile with her dual identities a lot faster than she originally did could have really showed and helped Killer Frost's edge turn very, very fast and push Barry to question his own black and white kind of view of heroism. Like, it would have been a very just cool, like, interesting thing to see play out on both ends, and we just never got to explore that, which obviously can't now, but it would have just been a nice thing to see, because obviously there was just so much missed potential and the opportunities, just missed opportunities, like in the writing in general. Because obviously, despite their incredible potential, the show's writers seemed extremely hesitant to explore any romantic angle between Barry and Caitlyn, or Barry and anybody that actively made more sense than Iris, because instead the show just doubled down on the Barry Iris destined love narrative, leaving almost zero room for other possibilities. This like approach not only sidelined like Caitlyn as a character, but also limited Barry's entire romantic growth. Because, for example, the writers could have just leaned into the slow burn like romantic trope, allowing Barry and Caitlyn's entire relationship to like develop into like an organic like relationship over multiple seasons, instead of being left wondering like what could have been. Or, even if it wasn't Caitlyn, just like give us someone that we actually did enjoy and showed like the entire chemistry of Barry with whoever else, that we would have felt like this is actually, a true relationship, instead of just being shoved down our throats every literal second by the world's most cringiest lines or whatever just happening at every specific point in time. Because let's be all honest, everybody loves this pairing. Everybody loves SnowBarry. Like, the SnowBarry fandom is probably one of the most vocal subgroups of the entire Arrowverse community, because of the fact that, for good reason, them just being so well fit for each other. We see how they literally grow with each other, literally how Barry and Caitlyn just always are right there for each other, basically being each other's full best friends, significant others in everything but, like, name and act. But literally just kind of to the point where Barry trusted Caitlyn and like had Caitlyn literally talking to him more than he was talking with Iris on very specific topics, that you would be like, okay, this might be something I want to talk with someone like, I really trust first. And instead of, going to my significant other that I should be talking to about everything, he goes to Caitlyn. Like, Barry and Caitlyn's interactions felt a lot more genuine and heartfelt than a lot of the scenes that Barry had with Iris. Whether it was just like their shared smiles during a victory, or the way that they always first like checked on how the other was doing during a crisis, SnowBarry shippers have had plenty of material to just back up their claims, and exactly why I'm here, because those claims should have been answered. Like, how it could have really just changed the show is absolutely phenomenal, if we're being completely honest, because Barry and Caitlyn could have really been a big romantic couple. Like, it could have drastically changed the entire tone and depth of The Flash, and their relationship would have brought a very big emotional nuance to the entirety of the series, exploring, the themes that they obviously both shared, the grief, the healing, and the identity, in the ways that the Barry and Iris dynamic could rarely ever do. And additionally, like Barry and Caitlyn's entire romantic like dialogue or romantic arc could have also opened the door for more complex team dynamics. Like, how would Cisco react? He would have loved it. Like, would Iris have stepped into, be a more independent role, exploring her career as a journalist, which I honestly feel like she should have done in the first place? Like, these shifts could have very much enriched the entirety of the show's storytelling and character arcs, because at the end of the day, Barry and Caitlyn's relationship literally represented one of the biggest what ifs in the entire Arrowverse that people are still talking to
of, like,
and talking
Spider-Man
about
and
to
Flash,
this day.
make sure to hit that
because
like button, like I
obviously
said
their
at the beginning of the
chemistry,
video.
shared
Hit
experiences,
that
and their
subscribe button, turn on the notification
complementary
bell so you guys never
made
miss another
them
video.
the perfect
And
team
we're
and the
all about
perfect match
celebrating,
that the
you know,
show
the
just
connections
sadly
that make
never
comics
explored.
so
And
incredible.
while the
So
Barry
make
Iris
sure
love
you
story is
give me a couple
iconic in
more
its own
ideas
right,
that you guys might
it is
actually
hard
enjoy,
not to
but until
imagine
next time, stay
how
heroic,
much richer
keep
the Flash
dreaming
TV
big,
show
and let's
specifically
talk
could have
comics
been
again
if
soon.
SnowBarry had
Peace.
been added and given a chance. But with all that said, let me know, what do you think? Should Barry and Caitlyn have ended up together? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for you guys to get, more deep dives into the world of superheroes and storytelling like I love to do. But until next time, keep running towards your dreams and keep embracing your inner hero. See you guys in the next video. Peace.